I am not privileged. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not like selected, but I'm just privileged to be selected to be here. I'm privileged to be among the best from my country that could come here and represent so that I can be able to go back and change people's mindset about education, because in South Sudan, girls are taken as a source of wealth because we marry using cattle, so that makes it very different because people don't accept girls to study. And so only a few get education, but most of them end up being married to older men, and that makes their lives to be so terrible because they don't have education. And sometimes they are married to people who are quite older than them, and it just makes them like their kids as well to be used in the houses, and so they cannot do anything else. So as you can see in the photos at the background, this is how things are. When you get married off, you are just supposed to go and dig around, watch the family things and stuff like that. That is quite different because people in South Sudan don't give importance to education. They don't give the priority to education. They don't see education as something which is quite important. So I want to go back and change their mindsets, how they look at education, and how things should be done, how things are done here in Malaysia, and show them the great differences we have between here and there in terms of education, like how people study here and people study there. For us, it's really hard to attend classes and stuff, but here it's quite okay. So these are things that I would like to show. And so once again, I would also like to give my privilege so you can see that in the images, these are how children are. Most kids in South Sudan, instead of going to school, they are enrolled as child soldiers because the country is divided. The country is a war-torn country. I'm sorry to say that, but that is it. So that is it. So you can see this is how things are there, and some are the images of when I was coming, and then this is the image of Petronas, where I'm studying, the UTP. So South Sudan, we really need a lot of change. Like kids, apart from education, they don't have a lot of subtle things to do in school. Like they don't have classrooms, they don't have water at home to drink because they drink dirty water. If it rains, that's a luck, so they collect the water and they drink. That is quite hard. So I'm trying to work hard and make sure I go back and do some changes, make sure things reach some parts of South Sudan and people's life will be changed. That is my ultimate plan. Like, I want to go and make difference. I don't want to see people, like, I studied in that same condition, and to make matters worse, still some people are studying in that very same condition. And that is not something good at all. That's one thing I want to change, because we are really, really behind. And the only way to do that is for people like me who comes out and see how things are done and go back and try to implement some change. So yeah, this is my brief explanation about my ideas and stuff. So if you have any query, you can ask.
Thank you very much for the inspiring speech. I think it's really brave and admirable of you to actually leave your war-torn country, to be here, to pursue your education because you believe that education is the passport to a better future. So I'm just very curious about the story that you have just told us. So how do you manage to secure yourself with a scholarship from Petronas?
In my school, I've been a very top student. So when Petronas advertised for the scholarship, I applied. There were thousands of people who applied for the scholarship. But I'm also as good as anyone else. So when I applied for the scholarship, they called me for the first interview. And then for the second interview, and I passed everything. So.
Wow, congratulations. Were you the only one who passed it from your country?
We were like 10 who passed.
10 of you?
Yeah, we're 10 of us.
Wow, congratulations. A big round of applause, please. Well, to all of you, do you have any questions to ask our friend here? Anyone at all about inspiring stories, how he's made it here to pursue an education for himself so that he can go back to his country and make a difference? Well, I have another question for you. So you mentioned that when you go back to your country, you want to change the way things are. So what is the first thing that you aspire to change when you head back to South Sudan?
The first thing I want to do is tell them the importance of education. How really education can help to change people's life, change how the way people think, and better their lives. Because it's only through education, I believe, that we can be able to go ahead. It's only through education that we can change our lives and change our society.